Five Nights at Freddy's is a series that needs no introduction. No, really. Check the cameras, don't run out of power, and shut the door on the scary guys. And if you do run out of power, well, get ready for a scare.
That's it. That's it. It's a jump scare. It's a little bunny rabbit jump scare.
Five Nights at Freddy's is quite possibly one of the biggest indie games of all time. Probably the biggest indie game, with the series spanning over 10 games, and like 6 of those were made within 4 years. Scott was just pumping these out. Jesus Christ. Saying FNAF is big is an understatement. This franchise is, well, big. There's a cinematic universe. Well, there's 2 movies, but the cinematic universe is starting. Just wait for the Ultimate Custom Night movie. Trailers would go crazy for that. With FNAF being a huge franchise, it's not surprising that it's had tons of merch, action figures, plushes, whatever the hell this is. Over the years, we have gotten many pieces of merchandise. Starting in 2015, Sanchi would make the first pieces of FNAF merch, with plushes and other miscellaneous merchandise like pins and posters. But the highlight here were the plushes, which were based off of the plush models seen within FNAF 1 and 2. And just look at these. These look ripped straight out of the game. You had the iconic 4, and then they released Golden Freddy and Fredbear based off the sprite from FNAF 4. These plushes were just super high quality, and look at them, they just look right out of the game. Then came Funko! Funko makes Funko Pops. In 2015, Funko got the license to release FNAF merchandise to retail stores. And so in late 2016, they would release action figures, Funko Pops, and most importantly, plushes. Funko's plushes are just a downstep from Sanchi's. They're not terrible, but some of these design choices are just why. In the first wave, everything despite who the hell are you?
Who put you on the planet?
They made a fixed toy Foxy plush, but why the hell is her tongue out? Put that back, dude. And then after the first wave, everything kind of goes downhill from here. Ew. Why do the nightmares look so terrible? Why do they have duct tape for mouths? Why does Balloon Boy have this weird ass body with noodle limbs? I guess he is like a weird human-like character, so I guess I kind of get why they did it. Why do these look like this? Who at Funko said this was okay? Whoa, look at these blacklight guys. They're so cool. Why did the twisted ones get a whole wave? Why does it look like barf? The Pizzeria Simulator wave's pretty cool. Fuck you, Happy Frog. The Security Breach wave is infamous because when they released, they used this really weird ass material that was a fucking scratching post material, and because of the backlash, they then re-released them. Still looks stupid though. After this wave, Funko just started doing stupid shit and made plushes based off FNAF AR skins. Yeah, make skins based off a game that doesn't exist anymore. Yep. Then in 2024, Funko lost the license to Jazwares, who now takes over the master license, ending Funko's 8-year run, which it was somewhat strong. In terms of FNAF plushes, I could talk about U2's, I could talk about Xmart and their affiliations. Pogo's Pizzeria designed these plushes, and well, he stole designs from Five Nights at Frokies. Hey, at least they made the Wizards, unlike Funko. And then there's Hex. Holy schmoly! But those guys, they're not what we're talking about today. I might make another video, just kind of a really big video on those guys and whatnot. But like I said earlier, Jazwares took over the master license for FNAF. And so far, in 2025, they have released action figures and plushes, among many other things. But in today's video, I'm focused on the plushes, which as of now, have 2 waves with 12 characters, and so without further ado, let's look at wave 1. Wave 1 released in fall of 2025, with the plushes first being seen at Halloween nights at Universal Studios. And look at that pizza. That's only like the 20th best thing they offered there, along with overpriced shirts and shit. In this wave, there are 5 plushes and 1 exclusive. Each of these plushes retail for $14.99 USD. And compared to Funko, that's actually a really good price. Definitely compared to fucking Hex, dude. So without further ado, let's look at the star of the show. Games, or movies. Freddy. So looking at this plush, you can see a few defining features. His brown fur, bow tie, hat, blue eyes, and just everything on this plush is just very accurate, despite the eyes. Now, Funko and Sanchi followed the games very closely regarding the eyes and chose the pop-out eyes for their plushes, except for some plushes like Balloon Boy. While the eyes may seem like a negative, it's actually a positive, as the pop-out are kind of a problem with Funko especially. Some of these plushes' eyes just look fucking stupid due to their lack of quality control on the eyes. So the fact that these are embroidered makes it to where every plush is consistent. And I like that a lot. And to compare to Funko's plush, let's see what it improves on. The brown is just much more darker and more accurate to Freddy. The eyebrows on the Funko plush are a piece of felt sewn on, and some of these plushies would come out with a unibrow. And so with the eyebrows being embroidered, at least them being more consistent, and there's more control over the quality. Another thing this plush does different than Funko and also Sanchi is it uses this very shiny silky material for both the bow tie and hat, which leads to a unique feel, and I actually like this a lot. It leads to the plush feeling and looking way more unique. But a complaint I do have is that the hat can come really folded and bent, making it look more like a cowboy hat than Freddy's little top hat. But now to talk about something that all of these plushes have that's kind of unique to Jazwares, and it's the fact that they have beans inside of them. This is the beans. You can hear that? They could sit really well. This is so they can sit down without falling easily, because Funko plushes just refuse to stand. Going back to Freddy, this plush is very good and resembles the Freddy plush in-game very well, while still being stylized and having a high quality. So I'd give this plush an 8.5 out of 10. Next is Bonnie, and he's probably my favorite. I don't remember if I said this earlier, but these plushes are just super soft compared to Funko, which, yeah. And I can actually compare this plush to Funko Bonnie, since, that's the only plush in this video that I have a Funko version of, since my whole collection got murked. This is an improvement. For some reason, Funko Bonnie has a tail, which is cute, but not very accurate. Yep, this one doesn't have a tail. Bonnie's bow tie is really nice on this plush and is a different material from Freddy, which is nice. And another thing I really like is that his ears are actually floppy. Funko's Bonnie's ears are just super straight and do not flop like the in-game plush. And they also just have this weird, like, cardboard piece inside of the ears to keep them up. But I think the Funko plush would probably benefit more if it didn't have the piece inside. I don't know. But Jazwares Bonnie just looks really nice. So overall, I give him 9 guitars out of 10. Chica, Chica, Chica. This plush is actually epic. This follows the Sanchi plush a lot, and is just an upgrade from Funko's really pissed off Angry Bird looking Chica. Why is she so mad?
Look, I got the cool feature, watch!
But just look at her. She has her cupcake, it just looks wonderful. There's just a lot of detail in this. I really like the ridges, and I don't know, he's just cool. Chica's bib is cool, the design is printed on, but despite printing and plushes, and especially FNAF plushes having a controversial history, I actually think it looks good here, despite it cutting off awkwardly. But I like that the bib continues through the back, that's cool. And her beak actually looks like a beak instead of... I feel bad for making fun of this Chica plush. I'm sorry. The only problem I have with this plush is the hair. It kind of just sticks up like Bart Simpson.
Nevermore.
But that is the only problem I have with it. Overall, it's a good plush compared to the Chud plush. I give this 8 cupcakes out of 10.
Being your average size is really nice.
Foxy is pretty cool, but this plush is probably the weakest so far. I think compared to the others, he's just very plain. And I know he's like this in game, but I just wish they gave him some pants, because all he has is his eye patch, and I don't know, it kind of just cuts where it hits his muzzle, and his teeth aren't really that clear. You only see them very close as they are embroidered instead of being felt pieces sewn on. But overall, despite his problems, I do like this plush, and it still is a high quality plush, like the others. And also, one thing I forgot to mention is that the noses on these plushies are actually, well, soft, instead of sewn on pieces of plastic. Here's a story time. When I was younger, I remember getting the exclusive Phantom Foxy plush from Target, and I favored this guy for a good week. One day I went to after school program, which I have some fucking horror stories about that, and some kid thought it'd be cool to grab my Phantom Foxy plush and just throw him against the wall, because I guess it made a funny sound when the plastic hit the wall. And so he threw him to where the plastic nose quite literally flew off the plush, and so my plush just didn't have a nose. And then after this, my normal Foxy plush's nose fell off, and I had to glue it back on. And so some of my old YouTube videos from when I was younger, you can see that the nose is glued on with super glue. I don't know if you can see, but I think Phantom Foxy may be in some of these videos, so you can probably see him without his nose. But lore dump over. That's enough lore for like 2 months. I like this plush a good bit. It's just not my favorite. I'll give it 7.5 endo legs out of 10. The puppet. I don't know what that voice was. I was like doing like a fucking Daco impression. This is just an odd inclusion in this wave, but despite that, I like him a good bit. Not my favorite, but he does have a good amount of detail, like his embroidered stripes and buttons. I think one of my main problems is his head. I think the white part should have been bigger, because just look at this. And he's also really fat, which the puppet is anything but. But I would rather them do this and keep him consistent rather than do this. Get that shit off the screen, dude. His details on his face are embroidered nicely, and overall he's pretty nice. Not the best, but he's still a good plush. He just kind of reminds me the most of that one Fat Tato plush, so I don't know if it's a positive or a negative, but I'll give him 7.5 music boxes out of 10. Now, this is probably the oddest inclusion of the wave. What is this, the Odd Squad?
Fuck you.
I actually don't have this plush, but I've seen videos in another lore dump. I went to the mall like a month or 2 ago, and this was before I bought all of these, and so I walked into Box Lunch. Is that what this store's called? Box Lunch? Box Lunch. Why am I just like now like gaining consciousness and just recognizing that this is a fucking weird name for a store, dude? Yeah, bro, I'm gonna go to Box Lunch. Anyways, so I walked into Box Lunch and I saw this plush, but I was like, I don't have Freddy, so I'm not gonna get him, because that would be weird to get him, because that's not Freddy. I held him and felt him, so I'm qualified to talk about him. I didn't even say the plush's name yet. Nightmare Own is the exclusive of this wave, and it's exclusive to Box Lunch and Hot Topic, and he's nice. I just like his design more than puppets. I like the pupils, I like the black, and the details of the embroidered ribcage are pretty nice. I really hope I can find this guy soon, because, I don't know, Wave 1 is getting pretty scarce now, that Wave 2's rolling in, but like, Wave 2's not even fully out yet, but so I really hope I can find this guy next time I go to Box Lunch or Hot Topic. Anyways, overall, I like this plush. I'll give him 8 frettles out of 10. Wave 1 was pretty good. And yeah, the thing with these plushes is that they just improved upon many things that many other plush manufacturers for FNAF did. The plushes are nicer, better quality, and just look better. Compared to the Funko plushes, one thing you can notice is that the limbs are just longer, which is a lot accurate to the in-game plushes as their limbs kind of droop down a bit. And I just really like this detail. I don't know, it just looks nice. And overall, the many details on these plushes are just cool and epic. Wait a minute, that's not it. I forgot to mention that these plushes glow in the freaking dark. Except for Puppet, but it's okay. Freaking look like in the dark. I'm turning off the freaking lights. Look at that. You probably can't really see on the camera, but they're glowing. That's Cupcake.
Hey, what do you say we go to Denny's for breakfast?
I recommend you guys get these. These are really good. Overall, I'd give this whole package a 9 out of 10 on the FooWave review scale. TM. And that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. It's a little bit of a more experimental video. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys later.
Oh, this is fun to play with.
Chica, don't make this hard. I'm trying to keep you safe.